Today I'm going to show you how to make this stitch. It's a 3x3 stitch, and it's actually a square 3x3 stitch. I think they call it a non-stitch, but it's a variation of a stitch. So you can see we have here's a little stitch inside the stitch. And it's actually very similar to what I've done before on the tutorial of a quad variation of inner stitch. You can click here to see what I mean. So have fun and don't give up on your first try. Okay, so I have here a similar stitch, a normal 3x3 stitch, a square 3x3 stitch, and we want to make this guy, we want to make this stitch. So how I'm going to do it as slowly and as clearly as possible, but just stick with me, please, because it's going to take some effort for you also. And I'm sorry for the English, sometimes I get mistakes with English. Okay, so what you want to do first is you want to make a normal stitch, a normal 3x3 stitch. So let's do it right now. It's just quite straightforward. You taking the strings like you want to make a normal 3x3 square. So yeah, so maybe you can do it all 3 strings at once. So all of the 3 pinks, you can say. Go like that. You can do it whatever you like. I think you already know. If you don't know how to make a 3x3 stitch, 3x3 square, or you call it a non-stitch, there is some links down below. You can check how to make it. So let's weave now one of these. So I'm going to do it, usually I do it one step at a time, but let's just do it normally. Okay, we have another 4 strings to weave, and let's weave, for example, with this guy. So we want basically go like that. No, actually maybe it's better for us to weave this one before, because it's going to be much easier. And then weave this one. Okay, so again, I assume that you already know how to make this stitch, normal stitch. If not, there is a link down below, so check down below. So this is, again, this is, you don't need to, I hope that you already know how to make it. If not, again, I keep repeating the same stuff. And maybe I want to use this for, it's hard to us for weaving. We want to weave over and then under, and then, you know, these 3 strings need to go under. So I like to usually stick them with a sharp object, and then it will be much easier for us to weave. Okay, you can see now I just need to go over this pink and then under this one, and then over and then under. So that, and then over and then under. So let's show again. So I went over and then I went under, over and then under, and etc. Okay, so we've done now our normal stitch, and now I'm going to show you, we want now, so actually we want also to have the stitch now, we want to have it like it did right now. So this one is going to be on the right, and this one is going to be on the left, and also here this one going to be on the left and this one on the right, or the string that is point next to me is on the right, the string is points away from me is on the left. And if not, if you had the opposite direction, just make another stitch, another this stitch, another non stitch, 3x3 square stitch, and then you'll have what I have right now. So this is you need to keep in mind that you need to have exactly the same position here. So this one is on the right and this one is on the left. Okay, so now we've done a first step. So our first step was to make this stitch, this 3x3 square stitch. And what we want now to do is to look at the, first I'm going to show you over here. So we want now to move all the strings that are curved. You can see that this one is curved and is not straight. It came from here and up to here, and not like that, not straight. And also it goes with all this other string, all of these 4 strings. So this also has the same idea: a curve here, a curve, and a curve. So we need to find all these 4 strings that are now needs to switch positions. So basically over here we have all the middle strings. So this one, and this one, and last this one. So all these 4 strings we want to remove. Okay, so we want to remove these 4 strings, and before I'm going to remove them, I want to show you something that will need to be, you need to understand. So basically all these 4 strings over here interacts with each other. So you can see this pink is interacts with this purple, and so on. So this pink is also interacts with these purples, and this purple interacts with these pinks. You can see it goes over this, under this pink, and over this pink. So this is very important, and we need to understand that for the 4th step. So just for you to know right now, but I'm going to explain it later. Okay, so we want to what we want to do now is we want to remove all these 4 strings. So you can see all these 4 middle strings. So let's remove them. And okay, so from now on I'm going to demonstrate it very slowly so you can understand what I'm doing. Okay, so we have now all the 4 strings removed, and we want now to see what I've got here. So you can see that this one comes here. So if we show over here, you can see that this purple needs to come over here. So always going to go from a string that is pointing towards you, will go on the right. You can see he comes from here and he end up to here on the right side. So we're going to do it. Everything is going to be like that. So we want first to have this purple string, and we want to go like usually we do. We do over, under, over, under. So what it means that what we did before is we went over here and then under here and then over here and then under here. But now we want to go on the right side, so we need to go over here under here, over here on this purple, and under here on this purple. So let's say it again because I wanted to make it clear. Over this, under this one, over this one, and under this one. And you should have like that. So over, and then under, and then over this one, and then under this purple. Okay, now it sounds weird, but don't be confused. You want to, this will be fixed afterwards on step number 4. We're now in the step number 3. So we had this one, and it came over and then under and then over and under, like I said before. And we want also, of course, to have a string next to a loop. So here is a loop. So this string needs to be next to this guy. So that this pink, now that we've done this, we can turn it over now at 90 degrees, and we do the same thing over this with this pink. So you can see this one need to be in between this one and this one, because you have here 2 strings, and this one is going to be a loop. So always a string next to a loop, and a loop next to a string. What I mean is, here's a loop, here's a string, needs to be next to each other, and this one is a string, so it needs to be, this one is a loop because it will be a loop afterwards, and it needs to be in between 2 strings. Here's a string, and here is a string, so it needs to be in between these two strings. Okay, I think it's I made it clear. So we want to have this pink go the same thing, and to go over. Now ignore this purple. Ignoring this purple, you don't, over, under, doesn't matter. So over this purple, under this purple, over this pink, and under this pink, because you want to go on the right side. So everything is going to be on the right side, and we want to turn it like that. So we want to go over and then under. So ignoring this one, don't mean to just ignoring this one, don't need to bother. You can go over like that. Like at the end, you just want to get under this purple. That's what matters. So you can go like that, or you can go like that. It doesn't really matter. So let's, for example, do like that. So we went over, and then under, and then over, and then under. Okay, so now again turning it over 90 degrees, and we want to do the same thing. These 2 strings needs to be in between this one, and do again. We want to go over this pink, under this pink, over this pink, and under this pink. And don't need to we want to ignore this also. We just ignore it. So you can go over this one, over this pink, or under this pink. So this one, you can see, you can go over it or under it. It doesn't really matter. We will fix it later. So let's, for example, just go like that. So again, over this pink, under this pink, and then over this purple, and then under this purple. And it's going to be messy at the first, at the third step. So we done this one, and then so this is going to be the last string to weave for the time being. So again, these 2 strings needs to be in between this one, the string that we're going to weave, and again ignoring this purple. So we can go over or under, it doesn't really matter. So over, over, and then under, then over, and then under. And of course in between these two loops, so in between this one and this one, these two purples. So let's just do it. So again, ignoring this purple, you don't need, you can go over it or under it, it doesn't really matter. And also ignoring this purple, so you want to go over, under, over, and then under. Okay, now you see it's a whole mess, and we want to fix this mess. And how we're going to do it is simply we're going to now fix one by one the strings. So it's going to be the fourth step, the last step for us to do. And what we need to do is basically just remove one of the strings. For example, I remove this pink, and now we need to really check about the over and the under. We need, so let's again show you on the example. So for example, this pink, we're over this string, and then under this string, and then it went over this string, and then went under this string, under this string. So it went over, under, over, under, over, under. So it's like over, under, over, under, over, under. 6 times need to do it. And we've done only, I don't know, 4 times, and the other 2 were not, you can see it's what wasn't, we ignored the other 2, these over unders here. And it's good because just I'll show, like, it's good for us to do what we've done right now, because doing this stitch without checking and all these steps is much more harder. So I'm going to show you now how to fix the over under here. So all these 4 strings now, we need to actually just check 3 strings, but sometimes you get mistakes and then you need to actually replace all the 4 strings. But what you do is you actually keep 3 strings, remove one, and then really do the over under for all the, like, 6 times over under, and then do the third, like the second string, and then do the same thing in the first string, and etc. So I think it's better for us to do it over here and less talking. Okay, so basically I removed this string, and I want to actually do over under 6 times. So I need to go over and then under, so over, under, and then over, and then under, and then over this pink, and then under this pink. So let's show you. I went over, now I need to go under, and then over this purple, and then under, and then over and under. So this fixing the first string, and it still will be a mess. So we need to fix another 2 strings, and then it will be, the 4th will be fixed automatically if we do it right. Okay, so let's fix now this guy. I removed this string, and I want now to do actually the 6 over-unders. So over, under, over, under, over, and then under. Now it's much easier to see what to do. So actually do over, under, the 2 normal ones, the 2 straight strings, and then you want to go, so we went over and then over, under, over, under. So over, under, under, okay, went under, and then over this pink, over this purple, and then comes through this purple. Now it's going to be a little bit more mess a little bit. No, it's almost finished. So I told you that the third string is supposed to be the last string for us to weave. So we've done this string, and now, for example, let's make with this pink. Again, sometimes if you make a mistake with one of the strings, you need to do all 4 strings one by one. So let's make with this pink string, and we need to go over, under, over, under, over, and under. Okay, so let's again, over, under, over, under, over, under. So let's do it. Over, under, then comes the over this one, and then under this purple, so under this one. It's okay, so over, under, it went over and then under, then went over and then under, and now I need to go over and under here. And now hopefully going to finish. Now just making it straight and pulling over strings, and it's supposed to work. Okay, so you can see right now, after I pull, everything went perfectly. Okay, so this is how you make this stitch, this 3x3 variation. And you can see also that now I have here a pink string on the purple side, and over here I have a purple string on the pink sides, and etc. On all 4 sides we have a nice thing here, and we can use it for making some letters, like drawing letters or some animation stuff that maybe I'm going to make soon a tutorial of it. So this was a small video without editing, and I hope that it went well. And I'm going to maybe to make some more of these without having so much editing. So see you next time.